Alright, this is another video, and what the Lord has just been showing me is get into that. Just cut yourself off from the world and depend on nothing but between you and God. I don't know. That's just what He's doing in my life, and try to get close with Him and try to hear from Him and develop a relationship, like a close family relationship. I like to view it sometimes as husband and wife, sometimes as brother to brother, and definitely always as father to son. But there's so many dynamics to the relationship. You have the bride of Christ, and just being a brother, a co-laborer, the first of many brethren. Yeah, so just wanted to say that. And yeah, I had this this thing that I was thinking about, how it says inside, a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand, and a house divided against itself is brought to desolation. And so we're treading on thin ice here, okay? With this idea, with these ideas or this logic, you're really treading on thin ice, uncharted territory. But someone had to say it, okay? And it says, if I cast out demons by the prince of demons, your children shall rise up against you and scold you, or something like that. But if I cast out demons by the finger of God, now the kingdom of heaven has come unto you. So my thinking is, what will the Antichrist be doing? What will this being of evilness be doing? I'm thinking in so many ways. Will there be a mock Antichrist before the real one comes on the scene? And will that mock Antichrist be chosen in some way? You know what I mean? Because there's a couple of extra biblical books that seem to make a reference to that. I could be reading the text wrong, but in Esdras it mentions a figure, and then a resurrection or a judgment after the figure is already detained, which makes me think, okay, something is up here, because usually it's judgment first and then detainment, but in this case, in Esdras, it's detainment and then judgment upon the earth. Detainment in the bowels of hell. Or so that's what it seems like they're pointing towards. So could there be a mock Antichrist figure? I'm just these are legitimate ideas from extra biblical books that might come in handy for the future use, for if anyone even sees this, or present day use if you see it now. I'm just trying to get the word out there. So is the Antichrist going to be healing? Is the Antichrist, false signs, lying wonders? What kind of work will he have? And will there be a kingdom divided against itself type scenario? like a mock Antichrist first. I think there very well could be, and a lot of scripture might be pointing towards that scenario. The Assyrian. Just take the Assyrian in for example. Who is the Assyrian? What is this character? I've been quite quiet about my thoughts for quite some time, but I feel the need to really share them, and to, I've been just analyzing and taking in, but the Lord is just really moving me to do some YouTube work, and that's what I'm trying to do. And it's kind of late for me, so sorry about that, but I'll just continue. And the book of Daniel makes reference to Persians. So the Persians are definitely the Antichrist, if you didn't know. Just kick you up to speed. Persians labeled Antichrist biblically by book of Daniel. Midians could be something different. Midians, it seems like the Midians could be also the Assyrians. They're overlapping names here. That's what I'm seeing. Now, I don't want you to be discouraged or just to click the off button because I'm saying Israel isn't Israel. But maybe they're part of this whole thing too, and they play a role. The Lord is gracious and merciful, and He can bring Israel out of that country and into America. I'm not saying He can't do that, but I do believe in the basics of my faith, the roots and the essentials, and when Christ is always talking about the heart and the motive and the inner, kind of being more important than the outer, how you look at somebody, and motives taking priority over actions. Even, you got to really look at the heart of the matter. So I always tend to, and then some people you might want to argue the whole natural olive branch and physical and the other one, but maybe we don't know how the Lord is going to transform this, because once you look at it, when this new 1,000-year reign comes in, there's going to be a 1,000-year reign according to Revelations. How is the rest of the world, or the rest of the countries around the world? I'm not saying America, but what I am saying is the rest of wherever Israel is going to be set up on earth. How is the rest of the countries going to be viewed as? Are those the Gentiles, and then now we become Israelites? You know what I mean? And in our new resurrected forms, is there? Again, it's a big debate, but to me, I just look at it at a more I take a more I don't want to say practical, but a more foundational approach to it, rather than a what everybody says, a more consensus about it, what everyone agrees. So yeah, and a kingdom divided against itself, I think that I've been seeing dreams about that Beelzebub. I don't know, I would be very careful. That could be the abomination of desolation right there. And I don't know, or it could be something against itself. A kingdom dividing against itself. You know, like, if you look back in my dreams and vision, in my vision that I had, which stumped me to really start investigating this. That's why when the Lord told me that, I broke the windows of heaven. You know, so I had to really investigate, and that He told me, you are in heaven, you have to go to hell. So now I check that with everyone else's dreams and visions. So remember, network. Yeah.